Alrighty guys, I am super excited. So I got my equipment coming, and my wife didn't divorce me, and she's even let me stay in the house. I don't have to sleep with my equipment that I bought, so kudos to her for supporting me in this endeavor. I was looking for three main things. I'll kind of cut to the chase. I wanted a new machine. Reason being, I'm going to probably have it till I croak. Used prices, from what I looked at, you can't find a used machine, no matter Chinese, Taiwan, or American, that's within $3,000 to $5,000 of a brand new one. This inflation, supply, demand stuff has got used stuff astronomically priced, so it was out of the, it didn't make any sense going with the used machine from nobody I looked at. So new machine, I wanted the lathe in the middle to match. And I wanted to, second requirement I kind of set in my head is Taiwan built. Everything I read, researched, questioned people online, everybody says, oh, you want a Taiwan machine, you want a Taiwan machine, you want a Taiwan machine. So Taiwan built, because everybody says go that way. And then I wanted a bigger machine. When I took my machine tool and die courses in college, I used a 16 by 40 Nardini, I think, of all lathes. Kind of a big thing for what we were doing in class. And prior to that, I've only ran the smaller, like 13 by 40, 14 by 40 lathes. And I thought this Nardini was going to be some big, huge, I don't know, monstrosity. But I found out, even though it was a huge machine, compared to, not huge, but from what I was used to running, making small parts on it with good finishes was extremely easy. And then you learn in school that, you know, a heavier machine, more rigid, three-phase power, cuts a lot better. Even if you got a little slop, the weight of the machine takes and acts as a shock absorber for the wear of the machine. So there's a lot of benefits as a machine ages to go with a heavier machine over a lighter one. Not only that, the bigger the ways, the longer they're going to last, and finally you can make bigger parts on a bigger machine, but you can't make bigger parts on a smaller machine. So I was pretty set on something 1640 or bigger. So going through the list of equipment, started researching online, talking to all these people, reading posts on forums, kind of creeping on people that's done stuff, and found that the Precision Matthews 1640 was going to be perfect. So I was all set and ready to go with the Precision Matthews. And lo and behold, I found out there's a company called Straight Shot Gunsmithing, and they're in North Dakota here, and they produce a product called the True Bore Alignment System. And this doesn't mean anything to most machinists. It probably doesn't mean anything to anybody that's watching this, but it's a neat piece of tooling that allows the rifle to be pivoted like this and tightened down, and independently adjusted to take out this angle. So once I seen that, I'm like, whoa, that's handy. If we have that, and we have a hole big enough for this to fit through the spindle, when I thread a barrel for a muzzle brake or a suppressor, I don't have to break it down. So I called the guys at Straight Shot Gunsmithing. I says, hey, stupid question. I'm looking for a lathe. I'm in the process of buying it. I want to use your guys' system. Am I dumb to get a lathe with a 3 1/8 inch spindle bore so I don't have to break down Remington 700 actions to thread them? And he kind of chuckles. He says, no. He actually sold his first Haas machine that had a smaller spindle bore and got a Haas with a 3 and an 1/8 inch spindle so he could do the same thing. So I'm like, hey, great minds think alike, right? Well, he's way smarter than me. But that put me on the quest to find a Taiwan lathe that's new that has a 3-inch spindle bore. So that led me to Sharp, Eisen, and Acura. Sharp, everybody I talked to told me how great they were, and I believe them. They look like great machines. But the price was like $5,000 to $7,000 more than the Eisen or the Acura. So that's fine. I don't mind if a company wants to charge more for a product. But when I asked, hey, these look like the same machine as the Eisen or the Acura. I mean, the Eisen's completely different than the Acura, but I says, hey, these look similar. What's your lathe got that these don't for the price difference? And then they gave me the whole runaround. Oh, well, it's Sharp and it's blah blah blah. But no, like, here's a list of stuff that says this is what makes it better than what you're reading in the catalog. So price kind of made Sharp go out the window. So then I was dealing with Acura and Eisen. Both great companies, both make great equipment, but I asked a lot of questions. When I asked, like 3 months worth of questions, 3 months worth of emails, phone calls, nitpicking, this, that, and the other thing. I was a pain in the ass customer, I ain't gonna lie. I was not probably pleasant to deal with asking all the questions. So the last like 3 weeks went by, I finally says, okay, send me the manuals of both machines. I sent Acura and Eisen an email, said, hey, send me the parts manual, the operating manual, the parts breakdown, and the manual for the digital readouts so I can look them over before I place my order. So I sent both Acura and Eisen that email, and lo and behold, I never got a reply back from Eisen. So that kind of shifted my lead towards Acura. Acura got everything to me that I wanted. A week went by. He sent me another email, Tom did, said, hey, any more questions? So that made me feel a little better, right? He's not trying to sell me something. Well, I mean, obviously he's trying to sell me something, but he wasn't being pushy about it. He didn't ghost me like Eisen did. And who knows? That could have slipped through the cracks or whatever. I'm not picking on Eisen. But the long and the short of it, Acura kind of won me over with what they offered and how it all worked out. So I ordered an Acura lathe and mill. The lathe I got is a 17x40 gearhead lathe with a 3 and an 1/8 spindle bore with AccuRite digital readouts on 2 axes. And then the mill, I got a 9x50 Acura mill, variable speed with the pulley with a 3-axis digital readout. I ended up going with the Acura vise and the Collins that they import also. So super excited, super happy. Things are finally coming together. I'm doing research on my rotary phase converter right now. I should have a video of that coming up tomorrow. At least I'll have my decision made by tomorrow. So I hope I didn't bore all you guys. I'll post some pictures of the lathe. Boom, here's my lathe. My mill, boom, here's my mill, because you sent me pictures of it all done. And next video will me be unloading it off the trailer and hopefully sticking it in the shop here. So thank you, God bless, and get your appetite up for turkey. See ya.